Let's check in now with Josh McKinney and Jamie McCracken over in Studio B for a preview of what's ahead on Sports Overtime.
Well, Shane and Matthew, a gorgeous night for high school football across Kentucky. A couple of intriguing games to get to, Jamie. Of course, our Appalachian Wireless game of the week, Johnson Central and Harlan County.
Yeah, a beautiful night. I was down at Corbin Southwestern, a Mountain Top 10 matchup. Plus, we'll have plenty more coming up on the Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime.
Hello, welcome into yet another edition of the Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime. As always, joined by Jamie McCracken. I am Josh McKinney. Jamie, an awful lot to get to.
Yeah, man, I'm sweating. That's all you need to know. And I'm going to do the show with no belt on tonight. Let's see how that works. I promise my pants won't fall off, hopefully. Hey, a lot of Mountain Top 10 showdowns. Corbin, Southwestern, and, of course, Game of the Week.
That's right, two good ones. And we begin, of course, with the Game of the Week. For the second time in the last 3 weeks, our Game of the Week takes place in Paintsville. That's right, number 3 Johnson Central, our Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week, hosting Harlan County. Third meeting all time between the Black Bears and the Golden Eagles. Eagles winners of the previous two. Both teams like to run the ball, but Central going to the air in the first. Bryce Workman to Jordan Blanton. He's a shortstop. He's a state champion wrestler, does it all. 25 yards on the pitch and catch, 7-0 Golden Eagles. Towards the end of the first, Joe Jackson, the carry right up the gut. 18 yards later, he's into the end zone. 14-0 Johnson Central. U-Pike top play contender to the second quarter now. Workman on the QB rollout.
Wow. Splits
some tacklers, cuts it to the outside, and he's gone. 51 yards, another Golden Eagles score. Tyler Pack makes it 21-0 with the PAT as we go to the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard. Number 3 Johnson Central stays perfect against Harlan County. The final tonight, 42-0.
Donnie Burdine, South Laurel. Shout out to Mama Kay tonight for the peanut butter fudge. Yummy. Leslie County led 14-7 at half. Third quarter, Bailey Foltz will dump down to Jared Lovins. The only fudge Leslie is having is some fudge, because they'd be giving up a whole lot of real estate to Mr. Lovins. First down Cards. 4 plays later, Foltz on the move. Hey, get over there. I got you. A little floater. Jared Grubb, spin move, breaks a couple tackles. He's down another first down for South Laurel. Whole different ball game for South Laurel these days. 3 plays later, Foltz goes right back to Grubb. Touchdown, 14-13 game. Leslie still leads the Eagles on offense now. Austin Smith. He had kind of a big night. Close to a career night.
There's a lot of weapons over at Leslie County.
Yeah, they score a lot of points. That's why they're undefeated. 38 yards on the run, 3 plays later. Smith, just like, Grubb, just give it to him. He's in. Leslie County is 4-0 in the year as we go to the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard. The Eagles win by 20 tonight, 33-13.
Letcher Central traveled to Breathitt County for a cat fight. Bobcats and Cougars. Late first quarter, Letcher up 7-0. Their QB Isaiah Tyree will run it in from 26 yards out. Cougars now up 14-0. Second quarter, we're tied with just less than 10 minutes to play in the half. Jalen Williams from 16 yards out. 7-point lead for Letcher, but the Breathitt County Bobcats will respond. Who else but James Fletcher Collins?
He got like 14 names.
Early in the series, look at those wheels. The camera lady can barely keep up. Come on, Haley. He's brought down at the 2-yard line, but the Bobcats
excuses.
Will assign him to cleanup duty. Runs it in on 3rd and 2 to tie the game at 21-all. They were tied at 33 at the break, and Letcher Central in the second half puts on a huge performance. 63-35, the final score in Jackson. Well, still to come on the Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime, a couple of rivalry games.
Yeah, Hazard visits Prestonsburg. Allen Central hosts South Floyd, and 2 top 10 teams battling Corbin, number 4 Southwestern and the 6th-ranked Red Hounds.
Time now for our Fans in the Stands t-shirt toss-out, sponsored by Eastern Kentucky University. We go north on Highway 80 to Eastern, where Allen Central fans out in full force for the Battle of Beaver Creek between the Rebels and the South Floyd Raiders. Highlights of this game coming up shortly. Allen Central fans, tonight's Fans in the Stands, sponsored by Eastern Kentucky University.
Last year's Corbin Southwestern game ended with the Red Hounds scoring a go-ahead touchdown with 1:42 left. I know you don't want to see that. But this year, well, they make sure they didn't want to have to do that again. Justin Haddock's second year at Corbin, Larry French, second year at Southwestern.
I think French has been at it a little bit longer than Haddix, though.
Man, he's my man. He's the coolest dude in the biz. Southwestern ranked 4th in our Mountain Top 10. Corbin ranked 6th. First quarter, yeah, Austin Dalton, I don't think he had a pregame meal. Got a little meal there, a nice sack. Scoreless after 1. Let's go second quarter. Patrick Edwards, sophomore, get off me. And here we go. He's really good.
He's okay.
He's really good. Breaks a tackle, goes 66 to the house, 7-3. Yeah, he's like, that was nothing. Southwestern leads 7-3. Next possession for Corbin, A.J. Moore. Great hands down the sideline. Oh, great catch there. 3 plays later. You might as well go back to Moore. Give me more. More, please. More. The problem is that's the only touchdown Corbin got all night. Go to the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard. Southwestern wins tonight 14-10 over the number 6 Red Hounds.
Head coach Jeremy Hall and the Allen Central Rebels playing host to county rival South Floyd. The Battle of Beaver Creek, right Beaver, left Beaver. Opening drive of the game, Hunter Johnson drops back, throws it in the flat to Andrew Tackett. Crosses just inside the pylon for the touchdown, 6-0 South Floyd. Allen Central answers. Dylan Cottle to give to Jesse Brown. Brown around the left side into the end zone. What can Brown do for you? 2-point conversion makes it 8-6 Rebels. U-Pike top play contender. First play of the ensuing drive. Johnson over the middle to Tackett. Makes the catch in coverage, and then it's off to the races. Another touchdown for the Raiders, 12-8 in the first. But again, Central responds. The sweep to Jordan Patton, who is nearly untouched, races through the right side for another Rebel touchdown, and Allen Central improves to 3-1 on the season. A big win at home over its rival South Floyd, 38-12 the final score.
Who's fired up for a Phelps game?
That kid.
That kid! Mr. Phelps himself, Marty Casey, he's always fired up. Always got the towel around his neck, ready to do work. Second half, Phelps trailing 44-0, but the most important thing here is they're looking for their first touchdown of the 2015 season. Quarterback keeper picks up some yards there. Later on, Andrew Prater takes the handoff, and Prater, big game down the sideline. Phelps faithful, get excited. 2 plays later, Cody Barton, a freshman, follows his blockers, and when you do that, you can pick up some yards, and, well, he picks up a touchdown. The fans on their feet. After that, unfortunately, the Hornets come up on the losing end of the scoreboard, 52-6 to Montcalm, West Virginia.
Staying on the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard, top-ranked Pulaski County 42-22 over Rockcastle County. Number 5 North Laurel improves to 5-0, 50-31 over Lincoln. Lawrence County on the road defeats Greenup County 19-15. Sheldon Clark falls at home to Tug Valley, West Virginia, 41-0. Middlesboro falls on the road at Paris, 63-0. Yellow Jackets now 0-5. Morgan County knocks off McGoffin, 32-6. Estill County over Gallatin County, 43-22 in favor of the Engineers. Well, coming up, we will hear from both Florida and Kentucky about tomorrow's critical SEC East matchup.
And the 10th-ranked Pikeville Panthers look to make it 2 in a row over their county rival, the number 2 Belfry Pirates.
Hi, I'm Patrick Sanders from Pike Central, and you're watching Sports Overtime.
No words that I could say 12 minutes before kickoff that's going to pump you up any more than you should already be pumped up. All you can do is buckle up, go play for your brother, and leave it all on the field. Every bit of it. Play just as hard as you can play, man. And that's all I ask. Do what you're supposed to do and play hard. You think you're ready to go? Yes, sir. Are we ready to go out there? Yes, sir. I hope so. Captain?
I hope we play as a team and play with heart. And I can solve the precious son of Jesus Christ.
Amen.
You will never leave Harlan line.
Last season, the Pikeville Panthers beat the Belfry Pirates for the first time since 2000. That was also the last time they registered back-to-back wins against their county rival. Could that feat be repeated tonight? on the road. Top 10 matchup in Pike County. Number 2 Belfry, number 10 Pikeville getting together at the Cam. Pikeville with the ball first and moving up the field. Derek Pugh puts the Panthers on the board first. A 19-yard touchdown run, 2-point conversion good. 8-0 Panthers.
He's kind of good.
A little bit.
Good.
Pirates turn now. Noah Corbett, he's back. 12 yards in the score with the QB keeper. 8-7 Panthers. How about some more Belfry? Corbett, this time options to X. Exandre Willis keeps his balance, levels a blocker in the end zone. 14-8 Pirates.
He's back too, I guess.
Second quarter now. Belfry once again in Panther territory, and once again it capitalizes. Corbett on the keeper again as we go to the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard. 34 unanswered points for Belfry. Pirates win it 34-8 over Pikeville. Prestonsburg hosting Hazard. A few tradition-rich programs here in the mountains. In the first quarter, Hazard going deep. Cole Ratliff to Jacob Blanton for a Bulldog first down. Ratliff now tosses to Trey Pollard, who will run it in for the first points of the game. Hazard on top, 7-0 in the second quarter. Now Black Cats trying to get on the board. Nice catch made by Stephen Little will get them a first down. Drive ends, though, with a Tate Green field goal. Bulldogs going for 6, but it will be the Black Cat defense stopping Ratliff inches short of the goal line. But he'll finish the job eventually. Black Cats trail 14-10 to Hazard. Prestonsburg trying to answer. Bailey Sloan tosses it up, finds again Mr. Stephen Little for another Prestonsburg first down. But it's Hazard who gets the road win. 34-32. The Bulldogs now 4-1 on the year.
Patriots, Bobcats. Not Central paying a visit to Betsy Lane. First quarter, Not Central's Tyler Kidd almost has a touchdown, but not quite. This night full of fumbles. Fumble! Recovered by Betsy Lane. Bobcats have the ball now, but not for long. Pitch back to Morgan Tackett. Fumble! Patriot ball. All right, this will turn into a quick Not Central touchdown. Finally, they hold on to the football. Somebody does. Luke Jacobs. 7-0 Patriots. UPike top play contender. Morgan Tackett. Great catch, good moves, and he's into the end zone. He breaks 3 tackles there. Add 6 points to the scoreboard, but as you see, go to the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard. Not Central wins by 4 tonight, 44-40. Let's stay on the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard tonight. Knox Central falls. They fall to 2-3 on the season, losing to the Henry Clay Blue Devils 50-26. Williamsburg 0-4 now, the Class 1A state runner-ups, as number 9 Paintsville moves to 5-0, 39-15. Meanwhile, West Jessamine, they lose to Clay County as the Tigers get their first win of the year, 40-24. Harlan, the Green Dragons, 4-0, Josh, 57-8 over the Jackson County Generals.
First time since 06.
Woo, staying on the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard, Lincoln 4-1, 45-6 over Jenkins tonight. And Grundy, Virginia takes care of East Ridge barely, 46-44.
Much more to come on the Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime. But as we go to break, as always, here's a look at this week's Alice Lloyd College Mountain Top 10.
Time for our McDonald's Student Athlete of the Week, Rihanna Ellswick, senior at Jenkins. She had a 4.0. She was on the honor roll and was an ambassador at the Mountain Heritage Festival. She was also a member of the Lady Cavalier volleyball, basketball, and track and field teams. Congrats, Rihanna. You're our McDonald's Student Athlete of the Week.
How about some Long John Silver's catch of the day for the second time this season? It goes to Andrew Tackett of South Floyd. Makes the grab over the middle in traffic. Takes it all the way for the Raider touchdown against rival Allen Central. The Raiders, though, would fall on the road. But Andrew Tackett of South Floyd providing us with tonight's Long John Silver's catch of the day. Let's get you ready for this weekend's football action with the Saturday slate, sponsored all season long by Union College, of course. A big game tomorrow night in Lexington. Kentucky Wildcats look to break a 28-year losing streak to the Florida Gators.
Yeah, Kentucky nearly ended that streak last season down in Gainesville, losing in triple overtime to the Gators. But yeah, tomorrow's a different day, new season, blah, blah, blah. Mark Stoops says he doesn't think last year's loss will really affect his players on the field tomorrow.
I don't think very much. I really don't. As I said a week ago with South Carolina, you know, one year to the next really shouldn't matter. If anything, I think our players know we've moved, you know, beyond the belief. You know, they know we could play. it's just a matter of attention to detail. And I think that's what the big message is this week is let's worry about us continuing to get better and fundamentally getting better. And, that's what's always going to carry you, as I always say. I mean, you can't talk your way around wins. You just got to get better and continue to push forward. And that's what we're looking forward to this week. It's always, easier and to get them motivated and to get them up, I think, after a victory. So a good win. And now we just got to put some days together.
You excited to be inside Commonwealth Stadium
I'm
tomorrow?
pumped to be inside Commonwealth Stadium tomorrow.
Cool. Florida is a 3.5-point favorite. 7:30 kick time. Kentucky, Florida. On the SEC Network, if you want to watch, if you're not going to the game, the Wildcats have not beat the Gators since 1986. That's 28 straight losses. They've also not started a season 3-0 since 2010, so that streak on the line as well. The spread had dropped from 4.5 to 3 points, but it's back up to 3.5 as I mentioned.
Also tomorrow, our second Appalachian Wireless game of the week this week. We go to Moorhead for the Moorhead State Eagles and the KCU Knights. Kickoff slated for 7. You can watch the game live on this TV and online at WYMT.com. Both teams 0-2 on the season, so somebody's going to win. The Eagles won last meeting between the two programs back in 2011, 67-0. 3
coverage area volleyball teams will be in Jeffersontown for the All-A State Volleyball Tournament tomorrow. Harlan Independent, Wolfe County, and number 18 Allen Central will all try to return home with the state championship. Pool play begins at 8:30 a.m. with the single elimination brackets beginning at 3.
Couple of scores to pass along really quick. Bell County over Whitley 49-22. Perry Central falls at Montgomery 56-16. Big show coming up tomorrow. You will be here with Lauren. I'll be in Lexington. I'm sorry, not sorry.
I'll be there next week when they're 4-0.
From everyone here in
3-0.
Sports and Productions, thank you for watching and have a good night.